Hey you, my name is Lindsay, and this is my husband Danny, and we live full-time in this self-built camper van. Yes, you heard that right, we built this self-built camper van from scratch. We travel full-time with our van cat Mogley, and we make money on the road since Danny is a travel ICU nurse. Life on the road has been exciting and fun, and we absolutely love it. And here's our story. It's Thanksgiving! So Thanksgiving is probably one of our most favorite holidays. The main reason is just pretty much it's sitting around a table with your loved ones, eating like 10,000 calories in like one sitting, unbuttoning your pants in like mid-dinner, and just good conversation, good food and good conversation. So this is the second time we've actually done this. We've made a full-on Thanksgiving feast in our 75 square feet van. We're going to do it a little different where we're going to be cooking our meat on the barbecue, but other than that, everything else is made in-house. So let's get on showing you what we got on the menu tonight. 2020 Thanksgiving feast, we're going to have chicken thighs. I know. No turkey. That is right, folks. That's because chicken comes in smaller quantities, so we can easily store it in our small fridge. Plus, we don't have to fight over the dark meat. So winner, chicken dinner, literally. And then we're going to have mashed potatoes with like a pound of butter in it and brown gravy. All right, next on our list is the green bean casserole. I mean, is it even really considered Thanksgiving if green bean casserole is a present? We vote no. Next, we'll do stuffing, and last, we will end with rolls. We might be making biscuits, to be determined. I'll let you know what's going on. I feel that the hardest thing about making a feast of this grandeur, not even in a van, like even in a house, is making sure that all the items come out all at the same time, so they're all piping hot. One's not sitting out and getting cold while the others are still cooking, that everything just comes out all at once. Like that's like the glory moment, right? So the only problem is that we have an oven, but it's smaller. So making the green bean casserole and the rolls at the same time is just not gonna happen. I'm sure we could figure it out, but in my brain, it's not working. So we're going to have to like either make the rolls before the green bean casserole or after. And then there's those issues, right? Like if we make them before, then the rolls are going to be cold. If we make them after, then the rolls will eventually come out, but we should be in like mid-eating when they do come out. And then I have this great idea. We have 2 vacuum sealed containers that keep our liquids hot. We generally make coffee in them. So we have these 2 containers. We're going to make the rolls before the green bean casserole, put them in the container and measure the temperature. So that will be the initial temperature. And then once we're done cooking all of the other components, we'll take them out and measure them again and see if it actually works. And worst case scenario, it doesn't and they're like lukewarm. We have another can of biscuits that we'll put in after the green bean casserole. Anyone else have like this irrational fear of opening up a can of biscuits? Just me? Thought so. At the point I realized that I forgot how to form crescent rolls, so I kind of just did my own thing. Did a little art project there, and you know, they're the most unique crescent rolls I've ever had in my life. Kind of think they're beautiful. Oven is preheated or preheating at 375, and now we're gonna work on our green bean casserole. We got to get that all prepped. Grabbing 4 cans of green beans and 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, milk out of the fridge, and liquid aminos. So I actually don't really know how to make green bean casserole. I make it every year, but I only make it like once a year, so I never remember. But thankfully, on some of the green bean cans, they have the recipe. I do believe they also have it on the mushroom soup. Yep, green bean casserole. So, can save the day. Yummy! Ooh, good question. Do we drain the liquid? It doesn't say. So I'm gonna vote no and hope I'm right. Seems like, oh, that seems like a lot of liquid. I don't know about this. Meh. We should have drained it. All right. Back to Hot Mess Express cooking. We're just gonna mix this, get it all evenly coated. All right, what's next? 1 cup of milk. Yeah, I'm so glad I drained that water. It definitely would have been too much water. And then the soy sauce. So I'm not using soy, I'm actually using liquid aminos because that's all we have. And you do 2 teaspoons. The funny part is I don't remember adding liquid aminos or soy last year. Maybe I just skipped over that part. I'm not quite sure, but we're gonna follow it verbatim besides the pepper because I have like a pepper grinder and they need like, how much do we need? Looks like 1/4 of a teaspoon. Danny and I like a lot of pepper, so we're just gonna like play it by ear to just add it. Pretty generous. And we'll just say that's 1/4 of a teaspoon. For my chefs out there, if you're watching, I'm sorry if you're cringing, but you know, struggle cooking. It's a thing. It's a thing. All right, let's get this baby in the casserole. You know what I almost forgot? The onion crunchies! What the heck was I thinking? So I know that there's like a measured amount that you're supposed to do, but I generally do like half of it before and then like the last 5 minutes you put the other half on so it's like nice and crispy. We're gonna do that. Yeah, I really should have upped my game on the green bean casserole this year and just gotten 2 of these if we're all being honest. It's the best part, the crunch. All right, that seems good enough. Rolls are ready to go into the oven. And then we're gonna do a little cleanup because if you don't, it's a really small space and it will be trashed in 0.5 seconds. And this is when my life changed forever. I had no idea that our casserole dish fit in our fridge like that. Like, could it get any more perfect? I don't think so. Amazing! We have 5 more minutes on our rolls and our experiment. I'm gonna do some dishes, mainly because nothing is more sad than just finishing this big meal and then you have this sink full of dishes that are just like glaring at you and you kind of want to do them but you kind of don't. So I just like to clean as I go. Some people don't. Danny, but it does make it easier. So if you're wondering, we have 30 gallons fresh in our van. 30 gallons is equivalent to about like a 13-minute shower. I forgot how many toilet flushes it is, but it's not a lot. If you think of like the grand scheme of things, that we can make 30 gallons fresh last for around a week and a half, and that's what people use every day for their shower. Please be mindful that I'm not being very conservative with my dishwasher. I generally am more conservative. I'm trying to go fast. Ta-da! Alrighty. They're not ready yet. So we're going to add like 2 more minutes just in case. And while we're, we'll do 3. We'll do 3, and while we're doing that, we will put away the rest of our dishes. The timer just went off. Let's check these rolls. They look great. They're golden. They feel more firm. And so we're going to be putting them in these 2 vacuum sealed containers. We obviously use these for liquids, which they work great for liquids, so maybe they'll also work for solids. And we will be measuring the temperature with this Ames digital thermometer, laser thermometer. Let's start with the easier one. Put the littler guys. Take this guy, turn it on. And the laser is right on the biscuit or roll, so 155 Fahrenheit. Seal that baby up, make sure the top's fully on, and then he will just sit there. Next one is this guy. This is a little different. Just what I wanted, some crumbs in my nice screen for my coffee, but you know, all for science. And then we'll just stick this guy in there. stick this guy in there. I don't know how well this will work, but I think the black one will work really well. The laser is right on the roll. The temperature is, oh, these are more hot. Maybe I didn't get an accurate reading on that last one. 165. It keeps on bobbling between like 160 and 170. 165. And then we'll just keep that down and keep it right there. All right, now that the biscuits are done, we are going to preheat the oven for the green bean casserole and start prepping the potatoes for the mashed potatoes, which is my favorite part of the meal. To show you what I'm dealing with right now, as you can see, this is our oven knob and there's no markings besides the broil in the 500. So I'm just kind of guessing on where the 350 is for the green bean casserole. We have new knobs coming. They're coming. They're not here. This is my life. Just kind of guessing, hoping that it's on the right degree.
So while I'm doing that, Danny is going to the back to grab the barbecue pit for those chicken thighs. Fun full fact, we have a 12.2 gallon propane tank mounted underneath our van for, you know, the heater, the stove, the oven. It also comes with an accessory line that we can hook up to our barbecue pit, so we no longer have to use those disposable canisters. Works like a charm. So for safety issues, we don't drive with it connected. So we connect it and deconnect it every time that we move, if that's even a word, and success.
All right, let's make some chicken. I'm just gonna season them up. I got a little homemade concoction here. This is a garlic salt powder with herbs. We have a McCormick smoky Montreal steak, pretty salty, so I'm just gonna go extra light on that.
Rinse, rinse, rinse those taters. Rinse, rinse, rinse those taters. So random thought. What if there was a new Olympic sport that had to deal with peeling potatoes? Like maybe one person has to peel 100 potatoes for a time, or maybe it's a relay race and you have a team. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Could be interesting.
All of the potatoes are peeled. I'm going to get my water going before I start to chop them so that the water will be nice and ready. Where the heck is my pot? There it is. This is another issue with van life. We only have 30 gallons fresh. Even filling like a pot like this of water is pretty detrimental to our 30 gallons fresh. So we don't do mashed potatoes very often. We also don't like boil corn on the cob either. We use it on the grill so we don't have to waste water. Like right here, like this is giving me anxiety. Just listening to the water go. And it's like, conserve. We'll just put it right there, and then if we need to add water, we can add water. Right now we're gonna start like double teaming our components. So we got the green bean casserole. It needs to be in the oven for 25 minutes, and then you take it out, sprinkle some more of that yummy, goody, crispy onion crisps on top of it, and then let it go in for another like 5-ish minutes. And while we're doing that, and while it's baking, we will start to chop our potatoes and put them in the rolling, hopefully boiling water by then. And hopefully they'll all be done all at the same time. So wish me luck.
All right, Danny is putting that chicken on the grill. Can you hear it sizzling? Oh, I bet you can. Yum, yum in the tum-tum. Yum, yum in the tum-tum. While we're waiting to flip the chicken, we might as well do some handstand work. Kind of nailed it. While Danny is walking on his hands, I am currently chopping up potatoes. And at this point, I'm realizing that I bought too many potatoes and I really only need half of them. So I'm gonna chop, and then I'm gonna throw them in the water. And then the other half I'm gonna slice up, put them in a bag, and then that'll be breakfast tomorrow. Fried potatoes. Didn't mean to, but couldn't have planned it better. Doing those dishes again. I absolutely hate dishes. Anyone else think that dishes are like the worst chore ever? Let me know in the comment section.
The last part of our meal that we still need to start or make is the stuffing and the gravy. So once we drain the potatoes, I will get the water going for these so they'll be boiling, and then we can just kind of like beep bop between the two things, and hopefully nothing burns while we're trying to still make our mashed potatoes.
Getting my pots and my pans and some butter for the stuffing. Per the back of the box of the stuffing, I will need 1/4 cup of butter and 1.5 cups of water. So we don't have a strainer because we didn't feel like we used it a lot, and it does take up a little bit of room. Not a lot of room, but a little bit. So doing this is kind of dicey. I will admit I have definitely burned myself a few times. Kind of, ugh, steam burn. See, that's where it comes up. Hit your arm. Right, it's almost done. Hopefully. Nope, still more, still more. Minimalism. So that's drained. Let that sit for a second. Our green bean casserole, woo, just started beeping, so it says it's done. It's not really bubbling, which is kind of concerning. It's on, so we'll just turn that baby up. And sprinkle the rest of the yummy crunchies on top. Spread out the wealth to all the corners. I'm really concerned that it's not bubbling yet, so bummer. Looks like I didn't pick the right degree. So we turned up the oven, so it'll start bubbling hopefully, and stick this bad boy right back in. Since it's not bubbling, I'm gonna do longer than 5 minutes. We're gonna do 10. Right now we need to do a nice little switcheroo. This is for our stuffing. This is for our gravy. And then we will move the mashed potatoes onto the table so that we can whip them up with all the good stuff. We are going to, woo, fell into the sink. No bueno. So we're gonna start these, but not on super high. Just wanna kind of get them going so that they'll be ready. Maybe. Ah, there we go. And let's turn you guys around so you can see me make my mashed potatoes. All right, we got like this ghetto camera set up. I will show you a picture of it right now. So definitely have my Sony just sitting on a thing of books, and it seems to be working just fine. So I already got the camera set up for mashing the potatoes, but then this was done, so we just grabbed the phone and this is how we're gonna do it. So yay, stuffing is mixed. We're turning it off heat, covering it, and then it's supposed to sit for 5 minutes and it's supposed to be done. Uncover the potatoes. So something cool to understand is that this beater is getting power from solar. So we have solar panels on top of our van. We get solar, it captures it, brings it down, and then puts it into our batteries. And then our batteries just hold on to all that energy until we're ready to use it. So I'm ready to use it for the beater. We're not plugged in, we're not using a generator. So pretty much we get electricity for free. Now, the milk and butter ratio, I don't really measure it because sometimes I want a lot of butter, sometimes I don't want that much butter. I just kind of play it by ear. We're just gonna put this big glob in there, should be fine. And just keep on mixing until it comes to the consistency that I like.
And I will continue to add more butter and more butter and more butter. What I didn't tell you that I'm also going to be adding salt and pepper. Nothing fancy, just a little S&P.
Super good. It's got that salt, it's got that butter, it's creamy. So this is done. We're just gonna cap that baby. Unplug. So the next thing is the, what am I trying to say? The green bean casserole. It just beeped, so hopefully that's done. We'll make our gravy, and Danny should be done grilling, and everything should come out together. Ah, yes. All right, last thing to make is the gravy. It's a brown gravy. And then you just kind of whisk it up. We did have a silicone whisker. I don't know where it went. I seriously looked for it. Danny has
this way of just throwing things away that he thinks we're not using, but we might actually still be using. But I really hate using metal on Teflon. Alright, Danny's done with the chicken. How's it feel out there?
Oh, it's cold. Dropped down a lot after the sun went down. Probably like 15, 20 degrees.
Woo, chicken. Alright, let's get the green bean casserole out and then we're done. It's bubbling now. Woo, looks good. Yeah. Moment of truth. So these guys have been sitting in here the entire time that I've been cooking. So remember that this was 155. This was 165 Fahrenheit. Now let's measure them again and see if they lost heat. Ooh. Definitely added pressure. So turn the bad boy on. They're still relatively hot. So it went from 150 to 92. Not terrible. Close that back up. And these guys were at 160. Oh, they lost a lot. 165, and now it's around 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So not terrible, still not piping hot, but definitely doable. All right, everything's done. It mostly came out all at the same time. You know, trying to work the camera, getting the tripod ready, and getting everything ready. It got a little hairy for a second, but for the most part, everything's done. We're really excited. Can't wait. So let's make you a plate and let's get going. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
So before we get going on all this, we like to start with at least one thing we're grateful for. And I guess, I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful for this man, I'm grateful for Danny and the cat, but honestly, right now in 2020 with COVID-19 and everything that's going on, I'm just really grateful for my health and just being able to continue on with all of our journeys. And you?
I'm just extremely grateful for having you, and you're just like the best thing ever, and I don't say it enough. I love you. Thank you for being so amazing.
So that is it. We made a Thanksgiving dinner in 75 square feet. We recorded it and it's all done.
Looks great, babe. I can't wait to dig in.
Yeah, I can't wait to dig in. So if you like this video, please press the like button. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comments. Don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be the first one to know when a new video drops.
Do it.
And Danny's gonna kill the wine box, so it's gonna be a good night. And cheers, guys.
Take it easy.
Tink. So let's go making these cats. This is like the best part. Just food.